So this video is about the A4 Skyhawk. It's a squadron vehicle in rank 6 with a bunch of different loadout options for ground pounding, air combat, or a mix of the two. As you can see, it's got a ton of them there. It's pretty effective at ground pounding, as you can see right there. So I'm going to show you two of the loadouts. This is the first one that I primarily use. It uses two of its extended 20mm autocannons. These have 4,000 shots per minute across two guns, and with these two I think you get up to around 18.42 kilograms burst mass. And then of course for ground pounding, really base bombing, I use 3 napalm bombs. It's subsonic, it's not a super duper fast aircraft, but it's got a pretty good thrust to weight. Now, I do want to say this footage right here, this first match, is really low quality because my screen recording software sucks. Like, this is not Overwolf, this is Microsoft Screen Recorder, because basically this is from an old stream, and I deleted the footage on accident. But here's a Q5. I'm pretty sure it's a premium in the Chinese tech tree, I think. Chinese or Japanese tech tree. Probably Chinese. I don't think there's any Japanese planes that kind of start with that. He's supersonic. I try to fly away. But as you can see here, I think, yeah, there he is. He's turning back all around. He's stupid. You're about to see he's really stupid. He decides to go and give me head. Now, why would you do that? This thing, a lot of people underestimate it. It's why it's really good with this setup. Is because everybody, if you think about it, like, would look at the stat card, and it only has like 3 kilograms of burst mass by base, which is really bad. That is worse than many props. As you can see, the footage is all breaking up because of my garbage Microsoft screen recording software. But nobody's expecting me to throw on 2 of these guns. Now here, I whiff completely. It doesn't matter. I've got several thousands of rounds of ammunition in total. Now that is a Yak 30. He will completely dominate me in any dogfight. However, this thing has really, really good. It's really in survivability. Sorry, let's see about what the world's trying to say there. There's really good survivability because it's got a tiny frame and it's really good in small maneuverable turns. There, though, I got saved because a bunch of AI targets spawned. So they decided to break off of me and go for the easy kills, easy rewards. Honestly, I would have done the same. I'm not that confident, number one, with my gun skills. That's why I prefer to do head-ons using this strategy. Now, let me think for a second. There's just a bunch of other AI targets. Now, we're coming up onto the base here, and I hit my boosters. So I normally either use my boosters when I'm in the thick of trouble or when I'm near my base, because I like to come into the base. Usually I like to come in slow. I don't know why I hit them right there specifically. I thought somebody was chasing me. But basically I like to come in slow, and then I'll come in at like 60% speed to get my bombs closer together when I drop them. And then the second I drop my bombs, I hit 100% throttle and hit the boosters to push me back up to like 400, 500 miles per hour area where it really excels. That's really where you're going to be seeing a lot of your time in the Skyhawk, is in that 400, 500 mile area. Sometimes if you're flying straight for long enough, like I am here sometimes in this recording, you'll probably see me get to like Mach 0.76, Mach 0.78 in a straight line. But that's just when I'm beelining for a base. You're really not going to be seeing that a lot in actual combat, actual gameplay. It's not, number one, it's not supersonic. Its Mach break, I think its maximum Mach speed is 1.1 to 1.2, and after that it shatters. So it doesn't really benefit from being a delta wing, besides its fucking insane lift. I mean, insane lift's kind of a little bit of hyperbole there because it's not super fast, but you know, it gets some of the benefits of being a delta wing, like a faster roll speed, and I don't really know. It can break. It's not like super duper fast, but it's underestimated. It's really a jack of all trades kind of plane, and normally I would never think about going after a hunter. Hunters outturn me, outgun me, outrun me. But they're not, in my opinion, not a better plane, just because this is just such a better grinder if you do not know how to dogfight, because I I have hundreds of hours in this game. Most of it's in arcade. But the probably, I want to say, 30 hours that I have in realistic, I cannot dogfight outside of the prop tier. And even in the prop tier, we're talking low props. But I just have so many bullets, I could just hold down the trigger. And he's gone. Because turns out 20 mils actually want to hit like 20 mils sometimes. American 20 mils kind of suck, kind of don't. I just had a couple matches recently off camera where I got hits. I was playing this thing and I was getting hits when I looked at the replay. The shots were directly hitting the wing of a Harrier. But this is the best because this Dornier, he's basically like me. This is a very similar plane to the A4, but he's not a squadron vehicle, so you'll see a lot, probably more experienced players using it. This is just such a great dogfight. I hit him right there, whiffing really hard. I don't need to aim good. There you can also see the, as I said, like the short turn, like the small turn benefits, where I don't lose a lot of speed. He's really slow right now. I think he was ground pounding earlier, and he just gets completely destroyed. And that's such an amazing quality of this aircraft, is its effectiveness with, I can just hold down that fucking trigger and nothing will like really escape me if I can kind of time it right. I've seen a lot of YouTubers not really talk about this. I've seen many videos on this plane that kind of is what I watched when I was choosing a squadron vehicle many months ago to grind for. And a lot of people were saying, don't get this. It's not a very good dogfighter, but it's very effective when, number one, you don't know how to play, and when you are just kind of learning how to play at this higher tier. So it's a low skill ceiling there. As you can see, I'm just cleaning up right now. Killing AI targets helps speed up the end of the match, but it's a very low skill floor, but you can't get a lot done with it. Okay, you're going to see it later in the second match with my more common preset that I use, because this also, you lose 130 miles an hour speed, somewhere around that with this, because these massive fast guns are super, they've got a bunch of drag. But you don't get, there's not a very high skill set. Like, if there's a very good A4E player, you're not going to see the kind of same results that you'd see with a very good, I don't know, F104 player, or a very good F100 player. But it's a lot easier to get one kill in this thing. Like, if there's a very bad A4E player, like if you're just getting newer, if you're just learning how to play in jets, this is very good because you're an 8.7 with flares. So no missile at 8.7 is ever going to touch you unless you just don't even see it. So unlike an F104, which will just get completely ripped apart by two AIM-9Bs, it's a strategy I use against them. I'm perfectly fine with this thing. No AIM-9B is ever going to touch me. There's just a bunch of ground fighters shooting at me right now. I don't know why I'm so freaked out. But it's got a very low skill floor and a very low skill ceiling compared to a lot of other aircrafts, I would say, around this tier, where you have... I cannot play the F-104 at this tier. But I can play this thing really well because I know how to aim these when I'm going slower. I'm going to try to go with this guy for a kill. He sucks. I pull off. I guess I kind of did pull off at the end, but I think that was just more of me. What do you call it? Like, I think I was talking to my friend right now, and I accidentally pressed the W key. I mean, that's a Saber. We go about the same speed. He turns better than me. I don't know. Sabers are unique aircraft, and I'm out of ammo. So that's not good. He's going to rip me apart up my ass, and my teammate just loves to come on in, hit me. But that's first place. That's really good. Now, those are all, like, I don't have premium time right now, so that is completely standard results, as you can see. And, I mean, that's a better match, but that was still pretty damn good. Going for the Super Saber right there. Now, on to the next match. This is much more recent. This is with Overwolf. I'm not using that setup. I'm just showing you the setup. That's like the one I usually use. By the way, for ground pounding, this is a little tip. Never use all of the napalm bombs. Use 3. You're number 1. If you use all of them, you go fucking slow as shit. And number 2, 3 is enough to get a base. I guess you can make the argument for breaking 6 if you want to take care of 2 bases, but you're just going to be going so slow, you're never going to get to 2 bases before getting shut down. Now, my secondary preset that I like to use, if I can remember to actually select it, pretty sure I use it this time, The secondary preset is pretty darn good. It's two AIM-9Bs and one and the 3 set of napalm. We load on into the match, and it's your classic Gaijin type of match. Ton of fog. You love to see it. Great day to be flying. And thankfully, this is something you do have to look out for because you're a rank 6 strike aircraft. There are no rank 4 strike planes. Rank 4 strike planes like the F-84 will just steal your bases because they have 2 bases. They have bombs for 2 bases and are a lot faster than you. It's a quick liftoff. Honestly, I'm surprised for beating an F-8U off the ground, but you know how it is. The biggest benefit here is you have speed and some survivability still, instead of just purely survivability with the with the 220mm extension weaponry. And you're at 8.7. I just want to point that out as well. I think I already said that. But one of the worst parts about being at 8.7 is you have up tiers. And unlike a lot of prop aircraft or even early jets, up tiers at this tier are really bad. That's a MiG-23. Luckily, I think it's some stupid little premium player who doesn't understand that his plane would completely dick me down in a dogfight worse than Big Dick Randy touches people who go Halloween shopping. Or trick-or-treating. What the fuck did I say Halloween shopping? But here we are, just flying straight. I'm in the mid-500s right now, cruising along. And that's a lot of aircraft that I just don't want to deal with. So, here's the problem. That base is already slightly damaged, and the other one's taken. That's the only base left. There's the other side of the map that's too risky right now. I cannot see where the fuck I am. I love you so much, Gaijin. Fucking hell. So, a lot of fighters. That dude just fucking... Oh, they just do not care about me. Good shit, good shit. There's three fighters back there. So, I'm not going to go for that base. I hit my boosters just trying to run out of there. And then I think to myself, I'm like, that's stupid. Why the fuck would I go there? But you can see, even with those boosters, I'm not past 500 miles an hour. As I said earlier, you're not going to see me get past that speed really that often. But I go in a straight line over here. Hopefully, I think maybe I can make it. Slowly accelerating, losing a lot of speed, turning that potential energy into kinetic energy. Something that I really recommend you should do with this plane. It's very, very important that you do that quite often because, yeah, there you see, I'm like Mach 0.79 after losing a lot of altitude, and I'm quickly slowing down. So, Buccaneer takes my base. Yeah, that's fine because the Buccaneer's a shit plane. He deserves it more than I do, honestly. But as you can still see, I'm still kind of maneuverable with these massive bombs to my chest. I think that's probably the most important thing that I can show you with this match is the maneuverability that this plane really does have. I go on a head-on. Don't really expect much there. Didn't really get much out of it. Didn't shoot a lot of shots. I don't know how the fuck none of those connected. That was very risky. That's a Saber. And he's going to die really quickly, probably. The F-104 is just going to tear him apart. I can never do that enough in my F-104. I just don't know how to use the plane. So, here is where I'd say this thing really excels, is when you're not fucking noticed. Nobody knows I'm here. Literally nobody. There's not a single player here who, well, that dude apparently did, but now he's dead because somehow my shots hit. Really, I'm so much more ignored than the entire rest of my team because I'm the least powerful aircraft by traditional standards. I am a bad dogfighter with two 20 mils. At this tier, I've got two AIM-9Bs at 8.7, but a lot of these planes right here are 9.0, 9.3s. But Matt Shenyang just apparently is a stupid idiot and gets killed instantly. And the other dude just misses. Once again, I said it earlier, a lot of survivability because that small frame, reasonable maneuverability. The maneuverability, of course, falls off very quickly into that turn. It's kind of like, it's actually very similar in one way to the F-104, where that first few seconds of that turn, you've got great turning potential. And then when you kind of reach the apex of the turn, you're not really turning at all because you have bled a reasonable amount of speed. However, as you can see here, I'm going like 300, 200-ish miles an hour. I've done several full loops. I should be going in a conventional aircraft a lot slower than this. Some fucking ground target takes a shot at me. Don't care. I don't risk my AIM-9B here. It's too stupid. We're that tiny little second of lock. And, I mean, there's no way that's going to connect. Yep, fucker Jays. Fucker dies instantly after I shoot it. There's no way it was going to connect earlier, and the bases aren't back. But there's still another player. And I'm just trying to fly low. not get noticed, have the other 3 teammates go after him. The problem is, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth here. The majority of the times when I do this, I never learn and I always just die. Because it's a lot easier for that enemy to not dogfight up there and dive down and kill me. Because they build up a shit ton of speed, dive down, and just completely eviscerate me. So at this point, I have searched up how long it takes for bases to respawn, because it should not be taking half the fucking match for this base to come back. But he goes and gives head. That dude gets ripped apart. I think he crashes. Somehow he pulls out of that. And he's on me. I'm still pretty fucking maneuverable. Once again, he's off me instantly. Goes on to somebody else. That's fine with me, honestly. I was just hoping that he would not take notice of me. But there's my insane thrust to weight coming into play again. I'm already climbing into the 340s, 350s region after a couple of seconds. Now, I'm asking in chat because I don't think my resource of 5 minutes is telling the truth. So, I'm just zooming along, and yep, fucking 2 seconds after I say it, base comes back. Now, I think we've already shown that the napalm is insane taking out of base. Because, number one, you get, for some reason, a really high base damage just off rip by the napalm landing, and then you get burn damage, which is what finishes it off. It's what a lot of people at this tier use, and I honestly respect it because I tried for a while using the 250 pounder, and that just doesn't work. So I line myself one up. I'm fucking safe. The rest of the team we've already seen is the rest of the enemy team is just dead. Like 4 people died in that mothball. There's 1 player left. I don't even know who it is. I think that dude who died down is dead as well. So I'm perfectly fine. Now there is another A4E who's really high up who wanted the space. I don't give a fuck. I've been in this match the entire time. I think he already had a base, and that's a base for me. Just instantly. Now, I don't know what the fucking other explosions were, but for some really weird reason, this base immediately respawns. You're about to see it. Unless I was tripping when I did this. Yeah, boom, it's back. How the fuck does that happen? That makes just no sense at all. I don't understand it. I don't think anybody who's ever played the game has ever seen that before. Gaijin's hamster servers just never like to work properly. This time was pretty good. I get another quarter of a base damage, which is great. I just wanted to show you guys that this vehicle, it's got a lot of good presets. However, I do have it spaded. My recommendation for starting off with this thing is just ground pound or shoot down the AI enemies just to get that napalm and then base bomb. That's really how I would recommend doing this thing. If you unlock it as a squadron vehicle, also remember, quick tip, squadron vehicles will not help you grind out an entire tech tree. However, they're pretty good when you're rank 5 or rank 6, which is around where you unlock it. And I get a pretty juicy match reward right here. Pretty fucking great.